Slick, I'm glad you're here. Y'all should be glad that this man to my left is here. Really no more knowledgeable voice on national television in basketball than the one sitting to my left. So, Slick, I will not delay. I will go straight to you for this question. You've given it a lot of thought, a lot of research, a lot of history. How bad would a sweep be for Luka Dončić?
It would be bad. It's already bad because we were talking coming into this series about he could potentially be the face of the league.
Yes, sir.
Assuming that they was going to win a championship and that he was in the conversation for being one of the best players in the league. But I'm just looking historically at all of the players that have been on teams that did not win but avoided a sweep. Dwight Howard avoided a sweep at the hands of Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. Allen Iverson avoided a sweep at the hands of Kobe and Shaq in the Lakers.
He was outnumbered.
A young Kevin Durant avoided being swept by the Heatles. Going 4-1. LeBron avoided being swept by Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and that super team, right? And Jimmy Butler avoided being swept by the Denver Nuggets. So we're not putting, I just named a number of players, Dwight Howard, Jimmy Butler, certainly, players who we would not have put in the same category as Luka Dončić prior to this series.
No, you're right.
He probably the best start out of all them dudes Luka has.
So the idea that he is going to go up against the Boston Celtics team that we're still trying to figure out exactly how good they are, but some of these teams that I've mentioned, we don't put them in the same category. So for Luka Dončić, for where we considered he was coming into this series, for him to go down 4-0, to be unable to win a single game against these Boston Celtics, it would leave a mark that that he would have a lot of work to do to erase.
Wow. I have a question, and this might be my only question that I asked during this whole conversation, so let me ask it now. LeBron James, in his 4th year in the National Basketball Association, he was already a first-team All-NBA player once. He was a second-team All-NBA player twice. He had finished top 5 in MVP voting, I believe, 3 times. He got swept. Got swept by the San Antonio Spurs. And to this day, we actually give credit to LeBron in 07, saying, can you believe he dragged that team all the way to the NBA Finals? Boobie Gibson, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, amongst others that have left my name at this moment in time. But with Luka, we're going to use getting swept potentially to condemn him. But with LeBron, one of the greatest 2 players ever, we use to praise him. Why is it different for Luka? Why are we not at least saying, can you believe he's dragging Derek Lively? He's dragging Kleba. He's dragging Charlotte P.J. Washington.
You've got one, go.
Like, why is Luka not getting that LeBron grace?
You want to know why? Because he the problem. We had and talked up here yesterday. Not delivering, you fouling out. 12 turnovers. Allen Iverson, LeBron James was losing series. We like, should he get the MVP?
Right.
It wasn't him. It wasn't him that was the problem. They're losing because Luka is not playing his best basketball. He didn't play his best basketball last game. Had a bunch of turnovers the game before that. He's not playing his best basketball like he was playing in the series before this. And that is the problem, and that is why they're on the edge of getting swept. Allen Iverson did all he could. He stole a game from Kobe and Shaq.
First game.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, if Luka was balling and we were sitting here like, dang, the Dallas Mavericks is losing, but Luka playing at an MVP level, he would get grace. But you cannot get grace when you are not playing good basketball and you are the best player, not just on your team, arguably the best player in the world. I don't think we're, and Shady and Joy say it all the time, I don't think we're as hard on Luka as we should be. Steph Curry, LeBron James, Allen Iverson, whoever it may be, Kevin Durant, if they were getting swept, playing as bad as Luka is playing, we would be killing them boys.
And another thing is, like, all these superstars, now you talk about Iverson, he did have 40-something points, right? He did some extra to win that game, but with Luka, it's like, yo, you the weakest link defensively. Jason Kidd said, yo, they're trying to get at him, right? It's a sign on his back like, yo, go at Luka. And if you watch the offensive game play that they're doing with the Celtics, they're looking for him. So you telling me you the 3rd choice of the MVP, right? He went 3rd or 2nd, I don't know what it was, but top 3 MVP choice, right? You got 5 first-team All-NBAs. So we look at him like, yo, out of any superstar you talking about, the beginning of their career, he's one of one for the most part. We get to the finals, right? and you the weakest link that the opposing team is aiming for?
Trying to go out.
And you not getting none of the blame, none of the smoke?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Hell no. Look, the same way where we would judge and criticize LeBron James, and it's LeBron James stuff he's done. Kevin Durant, as great as he is, we always look forward to killing him. Steph Curry, as much as we love Steph, there was a moment where, oh, well, how great is he? He didn't get a Finals MVP. So all these guys got the smoke and all the heat, but we not gonna do the same thing for Luka?
Yeah.
And then you fouling out. Hold up for a second. You down 0-2, you at home. You foul out. You get 4 fouls in the last quarter. I can't even make that up. So if you asking me, does anybody take the blame for this? Oh, you damn right.
And he can't get grace. And he can't get no grace.
My thought is, though, like, are we punishing somebody for overachieving 2-5?
Overachieving?
Think about it for a moment. LeBron, in his first 6 years of his career, he hadn't done nothing but go to the finals and get swept, which Luka could very well do. Right. Kevin Durant, in the first 6 years of his career, collectively, he hadn't done nothing except go to the finals, and like Slick said, thank God just stole one, but family, I mean, we saw what it was. Steph Curry, now, thankfully, by the 6th year of his career, that's when they won the finals, but Iggy won finals MVP, and I don't know how he won finals MVP. LeBron averaged 35, 9, and 9. I digress. So with all that being said, if Luka was in year 10, and this was his second or third finals appearance, I'm with all y'all. But even LeBron's second finals appearance, if I'm not mistaken, second one, he was with Miami. He goes to Miami and lets Dirk Nowitzki, a 37-year-old Jason Kidd, and Jason the Jet Terry beat him.
And we killed him.
And we gave smoke for that. Okay.
But to me, don't y'all think it's a little premature to give Luka smoke, given the fact that the first time they mess up, we let him off the hook. We let KD off the hook. We let LeBron off the hook the first time.
Get him.
But you have to take into context who he's playing and who he's playing with, and how we looked at this team coming into the finals. We thought the Mavericks had a legitimate shot because Kyrie Irving is there, because of the way P.J. Washington is playing, because of how all these pieces played, right? And also who they're playing. They're not playing.
Hold on.
Boston Celtics fans.
Hold on. Because I think, Shady, this is a pivotal error. The sentence that Slick is about to complete is a pivotal error. Who they playing? We thought so low of Boston. But as I've told y'all before, there haven't been any more teams more dominant than Boston in the last 40 years besides one of Magic's teams.
Statistically.
One of the Celtics teams, the 2017 Warriors team, one of Jordan's teams. Like, Boston, statistically, is more dominant than every team in the history of the NBA, but about seven.
We have to have context.
Boston probably has 3 Hall of Famers on their team.
The Eastern.
How many? Boston probably got 3 Hall of Famers in their starting lineup. Basketball.
They're a better team.
They probably got JB, JT, and Drew when it's all said and done, because he's going to have 2 championships.
I'm not going there. I'm
Where
going
you
to
Slick?
the regular season record and all the statistics that we say they were the best team in the league. They were also in, without question, the weakest conference in the league. Like, you had 2 teams that were tanking. You had 2 teams that, the last 2 teams in the Eastern Conference were far worse than the last 2 teams in the Western Conference. You had more 50-win teams in the Western Conference than you had in the Eastern Conference. Like, they were really good, and the rest of the Eastern Conference was really bad. And then, I'm sorry, but the path was easy.
Slick,
the path, no Donovan Mitchell, no Tyrese Halliburton.
But here's what I could also suggest. I could suggest that the Dallas Mavericks got to face, which we all know by empirical data, the youngest team in basketball in the Thunder. Then you got to face an incredibly young player in Ant-Man who had to go to 7 against Denver and finish Denver in 7 at altitude. And they had never been there since 2003, 2004, I do believe. So you could also suggest, not by talent, but by experience, the Mavs path was not grueling. The Clippers have never been to an NBA championship. You get them. Then you got the 2 youngest teams in basketball as it pertains to legitimate playoff experience.
How was Luka playing?
He's balling.
He was the best player on the basketball court, and it was not even close. He might be the 4th best player. And you know what Boston's saying is? He might be the 10th best player, because if you get the ball, and you get the ball, and you get the ball, make sure he switch and we get him. That's what they say.
But here's my question to y'all at home and to everybody at the desk. When it is all said and done, if the Celtics finish the regular season, I believe it's 64-18, and if they finish the postseason 16-2, maybe we were just wrong.
Nope.
Family, 16-2, 64-18. Slick, they would finish 80 and 20.
Wait.
They would have a 80%.
What are we wrong? Because we said that they're a better team.
Meaning, we're wrong in the sense of maybe this path is harder. Like maybe the Celtics are better than we thought.
The best team will always win, though.
Agreed.
Right? Even when the Warriors played the Celtics, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Warriors, they weren't the better team, in my opinion. Right?
They're not the more talented team.
More talented team, yeah. But that don't mean that the most talented team always wins.
No, what I'm saying is when LeBron got swept in 2018.
His team wasn't that good, though.
Exactly.
But LeBron's team wasn't that good.
That's what I'm saying.
What's it in 2018?
In 2018, lost 4-0 to the Warriors.
I think
when he got swept,
I was thinking of
not 17.
Yeah.
When he got swept in 18 and Kyrie dipped off, they got swept. But we said, bro, KD, Steph, Dre,
I didn't say that.
Clay. Well, either way, he got swept. When he got swept in 07, we said, come on, it's the Spurs. You got Manu, you got Tony Parker, you got Tim Duncan.
His team was weak. His team was weak there.
His team was weak.
Right.
At the point in which, if we're going to look back at Luka's team, Derek and Derek, you got Kleba. Kyrie, who gave you a 14-point average for the first two games. PJ Washington. I think we have to look back and say, wait a second. The Celtics are going to win 80% of their games on the season.
Really quick, though. You picked the Mavs in 7. Why?
Luka.
You picked the Mavs in 6. Why?
Luka, Kyrie.
I picked the Mavs in 6. Luka and Kyrie. We talked about up here. What tandem is better? Unanimous.
Yes.
Luka and Kyrie. What is getting displayed right now? I think we crowned this young man too early of even putting him in the argument as the best player in the world. Because that is what is getting shown right now, Acho, on the basketball court. Forget stats, forget anything. What we are seeing on the basketball court right now, and Shady just said it, is this dude that we are crowning is arguably the weakest link in this series right now.
What pains my heart, family, what pains my heart is this.
Careful now, you got 5 fouls.
What pains my heart is this. If Kyrie would have been Kyrie the first 2 games, they don't get swept. In the sense of Kyrie averaged 14 points through 2 games.
So how about
they don't get swept?
How about all the turnovers, though?
Luka had a whole bunch of turnovers. He absolutely did. But like I told Slick Rick, in 07, LeBron had 12 turnovers through 2 games. I think Luka had 10 through 2 games. What I'm saying is
that's the problem. Stop saying Luka and LeBron in the same conversation. We giving the man too much credit. I think that is the problem. What we are seeing right now, is he a really good basketball player? Yes. But we are making it seem like he is a LeBron James. He is not that.
A young one.
And listen, this is why I always say,
yes, sir.
I do respect numbers, because numbers do matter. That's why we have them in the game. But the reason why we compare him to LeBron is a lot of it's the numbers. If you look at what Luka is doing, so he's 25.
Yeah, I think so.
Right? I mean, like, no players ain't doing that, what he's doing at that age. So we look at all that all NBAs and all that. It's the numbers. So we put him up there, right? But what have you really done? Because I respect Luka, though, and he did take his team to the West Conference Finals, and they weren't that good.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, when you in a moment right now, like you the weakest link, though. That gotta hurt somewhere, though, right?
Yeah,
LeBron James been great all them years, though. Even when he got swept, he was never the weakest link. Do you hear what I'm saying? Yeah, we can point to on LeBron's teams that he got swept. But talking about LeBron's teams that he got swept on, we can pick who's the weakest link, why they lost in the third. A lot of the blame we pointing at, we give it to LeBron because they lost. But at Luka's team, he's one of the biggest losing. Turnovers, not playing on defense.
Am I tripping to say this? I don't want to be a prisoner of Game 3. Is Kyrie in this series not been the weakest link? In this series in totality? Not Game 3, but wouldn't we all collectively say, like, Kyrie has been worse than Luka?
What I'm saying is we don't talk about Kyrie like we talk about Luka.
Of course.
So what are we talking about? We are not expecting some dude that we don't talk about as the best player in the league to make all the plays. You are arguably the best player in the world. Kyrie right now is not. Is he a really good player? Yes, but he's not. So all this got to go to Luka.
This is the shift that we have experienced in these finals, is that we came into it, and when it comes to Luka Dončić at large, we always thought Luka Dončić is a championship caliber player because he had won championships in Europe, because of all that he had done as a young player since he came into the NBA. And he only needed a team that was capable of helping him win a championship. And what we see now is a team that is capable of winning a championship, and Luka is demonstrating that he is not yet an NBA championship caliber player.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Well said.
I agree with that. That's phenomenally well said.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.